Hello everyone, you are welcome to today's class. So in this class, we want to look at the solutions to week 7 questions for GS2, and that is on compound interest and hire purchase. So let's start with the first one that we have here. As you can see on the screen, we have a man invested 250,000 naira at 8.5% per annum for 4 years. So we have to calculate the compound interest. So the first thing we need to do is we have two methods as I've explained in the lecture videos. So because of the time, let's make use of the second method, that is the formula method. So the first one, so we're going to make use of the formula, which is amount. So amount, which is A, is equals to P into 1 plus R, everything raised by N. So where the A is the amount, which is the principal, plus interest, which we don't know yet, and a P is the principal, which is 250,000, right, naira, and the R is the rate, which is what, 8.5%, which is what, 0.085, right? And then we have N, which is what, 4 years. So from here now we can then apply the formula, and which is amount, which we don't know yet, into equals to 250,000, right? Open the bracket, 1 plus R, which is 0.085, everything raised by what, 4. So that will give us amount will be what, 250,000, right? Into, when you add this together, that will give you 1.085, everything raised by 4. So we then have 250,000, then multiplied by, so 1.085 raised by 4. So that's what we're going to do now. 1.085. So 1.085, 1.085 raised by 4 gives 1.3858. So let's stop at this one. Let's multiply the two together. So multiplied by 250,000, and that gives 364.67 64. So 0.64. So here you can then, this is the amount. I said here that amount is what, principal plus what, interest. So since we have known the amount and we also know the principal, so our amount equals to principal plus interest, and the principal, which is 250,000, uh, or let's have it this way. So from here we want to get the interest. So the interest will then be amount minus the principal. So, and the amount which we have calculated, which is 346,464 naira, then 64 kobo, minus the principal, which is 250,000 naira. So we calculate that and get our compound interest. So let's calculate that. So minus 250,000, and that gives 96,464 naira, 64 kobo. That is option what? Option C. I hope this is very clear. So we then move to question number 2. So which says uh, question number 2. So question number 2 Question number two, we have a man borrows 120,000 naira from a bank at 8% compound interest per annum. If he repays 7,000 naira every 12 months, that's every year, what are the amounts he still owes at the end of 3 years? So the first thing, this one, we can't use the formula method to do it here, because since the man is repaying some amount of money at the end of each year, so in that case we will make use of the first method, which is the manual method. So let's look at that. Let me clean the board. So here, so let's begin to make use of uh, the manual method. So the first year, year one, let's start with year one. So the principal, which is how much? 120,000. That's the amount the man borrows. That's 120,000. So let's put naira sign here. So let's calculate interest for the first year. So interest, which is 8%, 8% of 120,000. So that gives, let's calculate that, 8% times 120,000. So that gives 9,600. So we add this together. So this gives 129,600. So if he repays 7,000 at the end of the first year, so repayment here, we subtract 7,000 from it. So it's going to remain 600 to, that is 122,000. So this will be year two principal now. So year two principal is this. This will be year two principal. So we then subtract, we add interest again. So which is same thing, 0.08 multiplied by 122,600. So this is the rate, 8%. So we calculate that again. So that is 0.08 multiplied by 122,600. So that gives 9,808. So we add this to this, and this will give 8, 0, 4, 2, right, 3, and 132. So at the end of year two, again, it's going to pay repayment again, which is 7,000 naira again. Repayment 7,000 naira. We subtract this again from it to give us the principal for year three. So that means we have 132, 408 minus 7,000. So that gives us 125,408. So this will be year three principal. Year three principal. I hope I'm making sense. Then we calculate the interest for year three again. We calculate the interest for year three again, which is what? 0.08 multiplied by 125,408. So times, sorry for that. So 125,408 times 0.08, which also gives 10,000 and 32.64. Right. So we have this together. So plus 125,408, and that gives 135,440 0.64. So this gives us uh, that is at the end of year 3. So we also subtract repayment minus repayment, which is 7,000 naira, right? So we also subtract this minus 7,000 naira, so which will give us 128,440.64 naira. So that gives us option D. That's the last option there, option D, as you can see. So that's the second question. So move to question number 3 now. Question number 3, you can see that is very long. So because of the repayment, we have very careful with it. So for number 3, uh, the question asks us to calculate the amount on 5,060 for 2 years at 6.5% per annum compound. This is very straightforward. We just calculate amount, is that's what we're looking for. Principal into 1 plus r written raised by n. So the principal here is 5,060 and plus the rate is 6.5%, everything raised by 2. So that's 5,060 into 1 plus, so this will give us 0.065, everything raised by 2, which is 5,060, right, into 1.065, everything raised by 2. So we then, that would be 5,060 multiplied by 1.6065, 1.065 raised by 2. So that gives us 1.134225. So let's multiply by 5,060, and that gives us 5,739.18. So that's 5,000 naira, 739 naira 18 kobo. That is option B. Then move to question number 4. Question number 4 here. So question number 4 uh, is on hire purchase. The hire purchase price of a video player is 22,500 naira. If this is spread over 15 months installment, how much is each installment? That is, so we want to pay this for 15 months. So each installment here, this is very straightforward. Each installment, so since you have, like you want to share 22,500 for 15 months, you are in someone, you buy something and you don't have the money with you presently. So the person has to pay for it for 15 months. So what are you going to do? So you just divide it by 15. So that means 22,500 naira divided by 15. So that gives 22,500 divided by 15, and that gives 1,500 naira. So that means the buyer will be paying 1,500 naira every month, and that will happen for how many months? 15 months. So that is that on question number 4. So let's go to question number 5. Question number 5 says, this is the last question here. The higher purchase price of a laser printer is 80,000 naira to be 8,000 to be able to buy it. And to be able to buy it, the agreement is an initial deposit of 20,000 naira and a monthly payment of 5,000 naira. Calculate the number of months the agreement lasted. So this one is also very straightforward as well too. So to buy this printer, it is 80,000 naira, and the first payment is what? It's going to pay 20,000 naira. So which means we will subtract 20,000 naira from 80,000 naira minus what? 20,000 naira, and that gives what? 60,000 naira. And after that, this 60,000 naira, uh, you will now be paying 5,000 naira every month. Every month. So how many months will it take you to finish this payment? How many months will it? That means you're going to divide this by 5,000 naira. So 0 cancels 0. So 60 divided by 5, and that gives us 12 months. So that means the option is what? D. So the buyer will use complete the payment for this printer for 12 months. So that's what it means. So this is where we're going to stop in this video, and that's the end of this video. So if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on your notification bell, so anytime I release video like this, you get notification of it. And if you find this video useful and helpful, don't forget to what? To give a big thumb up, and share this video with your loved ones. So we'll meet in our next video. Bye for now.